Dear students, in this module we will discuss and gain knowledge about the analysis of data part 1, that is frequencies and cross tabulations. The learning objectives concerned to this module are meaning and importance of frequency distribution and cross tabulations, types of frequency tables and cross tabulations, uses of frequency tables and cross tabulations. First we will discuss a few words about analysis of data, its meaning and importance. Analysis of data means studying the tabulated material in order to determine inherent facts or meanings. It involves breaking down the existing complex factors into simpler parts and putting the parts together in new arrangements for the process of interpretation. Generally, a plan of analysis must be kept in mind while finalizing the questionnaire or schedule for data collection so as to collect the relevant data. Later, the analysis should start in a preliminary way, and as the investigation proceeds, it will develop into a complete and final analysis which may be enlarged and reworked as and when necessary. All this process is required flexible and open mind. While doing analysis, no similarities, differences, trends and outstanding factors should not go unnoticed. Whatever data collected should be studied from different angles as possible to find out new and newer facts. In the words of Wilkinson and Bhandarkar, analysis of data involves a number of closely related operations that are performed with the purpose of summarizing the collected data and organizing these in such a manner that they will yield answer to the research questions or suggest hypotheses or questions if no such questions or hypotheses had initiated the study. The basic characteristics of analysis of data are skilled and technical, understanding the data, possible interpretation and linking to theory, varying steps, interpretation of data and generalizations. The skilled and technical means carrying out analysis of data is highly skilled and technical job. The researcher should have deep and intensive knowledge about the data to be analyzed as well as the type of analysis required to fulfill the objectives and hypotheses. The second principal characteristics of analysis is understanding the data. Raw data and figures are silent and they never speak for themselves, but they have complexities. It is through systematic analysis only the important characteristics hidden in the data are revealed and valid generalizations can be made. Thus, analysis of data demands thorough knowledge and scientific understanding of one's own data. The third characteristics of analysis of data is possible for interpretation and linking to theory. Through analysis of data, the researcher should be able to interpret the data with suitable quantitative treatment, have some systematic theoretical background and can serve a basis for broader generalizations. The next aspect of analysis of data is varying steps. The steps envisaged in the analysis of data will vary depending upon the type of study. For example, if a study planned just to decide a phenomenon under study, one would go for basic univariate analysis, that is frequencies, whereas if a study is planned with testing some hypothesis, the researcher would go for cross tabulations with the test of significance appropriate to the same besides the frequencies. On the other hand, if one planned to find out the determinants of some phenomena, he or she would go for some multivariate techniques besides frequencies as well as cross tabular analysis. The next characteristics of analysis is interpretation of data. The task of analysis is incomplete without interpretation. Interpretation is the process to establish relationship between variables which are expressed in the findings and why such a relationship exists. For an effective and correct interpretation, analysis of data with suitable statistical measures is very essential so as to draw major conclusions related to the topic under investigation. Another characteristics of analysis of data is for making generalizations. The ultimate or end product of analysis and interpretation is to draw appropriate generalizations. Generalizations will play an important role in adding new knowledge, in developing new theories or modify the existing theories, and to formulate suitable policy and program implications related to the phenomenon under study. Now, having learned about the importance of analysis of data, we will focus on frequencies or frequency distribution, its meaning and importance. Getting frequencies or frequency distribution is the first step in data analysis after data processing or database management. In simple words, frequency distribution is stated as an orderly arrangement of statistical data classified according to the magnitude of the observations. When the data are grouped into classes of appropriate size indicating the number of operations in each class, we get a frequency distribution. By forming frequency distribution, we can summarize the data effectively. It is a method of presenting the data in a summarized form. Generally, an array, that is a raw data, consists of a list of numbers related to research. Among those numbers, few may be repeated twice and even more than twice. The repetition of number in a data set is termed as frequency of that particular number or the variable in which that number is assigned. The frequencies of variables in a data are to be listed in a table. This table is known as frequency table and the list is referred as frequency distribution. Some of the major uses of frequency distribution are: it helps us to analyze the data in a summarized form, it helps us to estimate the frequencies of the population on the basis of the sample, it helps us to facilitate the computation of various statistical measures. Some of the basic types of frequency tables are: one is ungrouped frequency distribution. This is also known as simple frequency distribution, wherein the data is arranged from low to high or high to low in the form of an array. With such arrangements, it would be very much easier to note the lowest or highest number, and this array enables us to see the range of data, the concentration of data and the fair degree of continuity. Thus, the frequency of each value can be obtained on the basis of number of times it appears. For example, see the following ready-made simple frequency table based on computer analysis about the current age of 778 elderly persons. In this table, one can see that the current age of the elderly persons have been given from 60 to 99. Of course, some of the ages because of lack of spacing, the details are not given. On the left side, the age single area ages have been given in for elderly persons. The next is frequencies are given, for which the computer output for percentages also have been calculated. It starts from 60 to 99, of course, up to that is the lowest available data is 60 for the elderly, and the highest person who survived is up to 99%. This much interpretation can be taken from this table. The next one is grouped frequency distribution. Generally, if the data is very large in a particular characteristics, the researcher will try to condense the same into smaller number of groups, say about 4 or 5 depending upon the need and frequencies that are likely to be in each group or class of each group or class of the characteristics. However, in this case one should think about the size class intervals of the groups, that is the lowest and highest value of each class or magnitude of class intervals etc., which we have discussed in the earlier module. This process indicates the number of values falling within equal intervals along the linear scale, instead of indicating the number of times each value occurred. As stated earlier, each class interval is identified by the lowest and highest value, and each frequency value indicates the total number of values, that is class frequency, contained in the corresponding interval. For example, see the following ready-made table for ungrouped frequency table about the current age of the 778 sample of elderly persons. In this table, one can see that the usual age of the elderly persons have been grouped into 60 to 64, 65 to 69, 70 to 74, 75 to 79 and 80 plus. The concerned frequencies are given in the next column and their percentages are provided in the next column. These are the two types of frequency distributions. Now, we will move to the cross tabulations, its meaning and importance. Cross tabulation, also known as cross tabs, is one of the most useful analytical tools in social science research. It is also known as contingency table analysis, which is most often used to analyze categorical, that is nominal measurement scale data. One estimate is that single variable frequency analysis and cross tabulation analysis account for more than 90% all research analysis. A cross tabulation is a two or more dimensional table that records the number or frequency of respondents that have the specific characteristics described in the cells of the table. Cross tabulation tables provide a wealth of information about the relationship between the variables. The cells of the table report the frequency counts and percentages for the number of respondents in each cell. Through any computer assisted analytical software such as SPSS, data, etc., one can get cross tabulations by providing information for row and column variables as well as cell percentages by row and column variables. One can create and analyze multiple tables in side by side or sequential format. Generally, cross tabulations will be done for categorical data. The major uses of cross tabulations are: it helps to compare the data between two or more groups, that is categories of persons, respondents pertaining to specified characteristics. It helps to examine the relationships or associations within the data and might not be readily apparent when analyzing the total survey responses. It also helps us to facilitate for computation the test of association, that is chi-square test of significance, between independent variable and a dependent variable. There are three types of cross tabulations generally we used to prepare. The cross tabulations can be carried out in different ways depending upon the need and availability of data. A few types are given in the following lines: cross tabs for comparison purpose, cross tabs for examining the association, and multi-way cross tabulations. First, we will see the cross tabs for comparison purpose. This is also known as frequency distribution of a special characteristic or factor of the sample respondents for two or more categories or classes of another characteristic which need to be done for comparative purpose. It involves two characteristics or variables of which one has to be placed in row and another one in the column of the table. For example, see the following table. Present example, the forward one, that is educational status, is generally the characteristics for which one should get the frequency distribution, that is with the percentages, based on the categories of the variable gender kept in the columns. Here the percentages of two or more categories will be computed by column wise for the row wise, that is educational status. so that it looks like two frequency distributions are kept side by side for one characteristic that is specified in the row under consideration. Further, one can also compute the chi-square test of significance for this distribution so as to understand that the sample respondents are varied or differed by a special characteristic provided in row across the categories of the characteristics placed in column. That is, the details of the chi-square test are provided in the next module. In this table, we can see that as stated earlier, the education status of the respondents are provided in the first column, that is illiterates up to middle school, high school and above, for which gender wise their frequencies have been computed. The percentages are column wise, therefore, among one can interpret that how many males are illiterates compared to how many females are illiterate, how many are middle school among males compared to how many are middle among females, like that I can interpret. This sort of facility is available in most of the softwares nowadays developed for cross tabulation. The next one is crosstabs for examining the association. Crosstabs of this type are more common in social science research so as to establish the association between two related variables or factors. Here too, one variable will be placed in the row that is generally independent in nature, for example, here educational status, and another one in the column of the table generally should be dependent variable. Present context, it may be suffering from multimorbidity or not. However, the percentage will be computed for each of the categories of the independent variable, that is row wise across the categories, that is two or more of independent variables given in column, and thereby it looks like frequency distribution for each of the categories of row variable. Through these types of crosstabs, one can interpret how the sample under consideration is associated in terms of their dependent variable provided in column with their independent variable kept in row. Further, here too one can compute the chi-square test of significance and interpret how the sample respondents are associated in terms of their frequencies provided across the column variable, that is dependent variable, across their independent variable kept at the row of the table. Yeah, as one can see from this table that the elderly persons who are suffering from one or more morbidity and suffering from multimorbidity are cross tabulated by their educational status. So, the percentages have been calculated among illiterates up to middle school and high school and above row wise, and therefore, the percentage of 100 is row wise is computed. From this one can see that among the illiterates how many are suffering from one morbidity or two or more morbidities in comparison to among those who studied up to high school and above how many are suffering with one morbidity and two morbidities and above. For this, the chi-square test also can be computed, which is very much essential. This type of association table, details of chi-square test is provided in the next module. The next type of cross tabulations are coined as multi-way cross tabulations. These cross tables generally take into consideration three or more variables at a time, which used to be computed for specific purposes depending upon the need for the study. Generally, these are computed while examining the association between one independent and a dependent variable across two, that is mostly or more categories of another variable. In the present case, gender is example is given. Therefore, this is further extension of the crosstabs for examining the association stated above. For example, one can see the table 3 for more information about this type of table. Compared to the previous table, in this table one can see that percentages of those suffering from multimorbidity have been computed for males, females and total separately. So, for each one chi-square can be calculated for male separately, female separately, total separately, and therefore, one would able to say that among males how education is influencing multimorbidity or not, among females how education is influencing the multimorbidity or not, among the total whether it is influencing multimorbidity or not. One can see here that because of the presenting the table in a compact form, the percentage of 100 though calculated by row wise, they are not been given, which has been given as a note for this table. In sum, in this module we have discussed and learnt about the various aspects related to frequency tables, cross tabulations, in addition to some of the basics of analysis of data. Hope understanding all these would be helpful to you in analyzing the data in terms of frequencies and crosstabs in an effective manner, so as to make use of them in your research studies related to population studies. Thank you.